Dearly beloved, we gather before you here today on this funeral for week one. As the past week has reminded us, no one is immortal. Not your fantasy picks, not even royalty. And so this week, we bury those that have let us down all throughout the best ball season and week one. We do away with them, but not all hope is lost. As Farmer Pete will tell you, sometimes a seed has to go under the ground to sprout up into a big tree with lots of branches. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to bury some things, but we're also going to plant some seeds and we're going to water them and see what comes up. That's going to happen on today's Swolecast here at RotoGrinders.com.
Please don't dupe me, bro.
I'm begging you, don't dupe me, bro.
It's the poop narrative.
Kitchen's been waiting to say those words.
No.
For 5 years.
Welcome, everybody, to the Swolecast here at RotoGrinders.com. It's week 2 of our, 8th or 9th season? I don't even know. But we're back, and we're burying people, just like we do every year. Davis, I know you have quite a few people that you'll be burying this season.
We're really just one. I mean, just my biggest fade got 31 touches and eight PPR points in week 1. So I'm calling an ambulance, but not for me right now.
Okay. Pete, what about you?
Oh, I mean, I got absolutely buried and dusted in week 1. I mean, just the slappies, the chalk donks, getting it that hard right out of the gate.
Pittman and Barkley ruining tournaments in week 1 was so not fun.
Just the Pittman guys, too, there at the end. They're the worst.
So you might be on mute, but I think you are also in the Pittman getting there camp.
Yeah, I actually had a pretty decent first week, but Damian Pierce was my big miss, and now Lovey's out here talking him up again, and I know I'm going to fall for it.
Well, the most confusing thing about Pierce was he actually was not lying about starting him. That was the bizarre thing, was that he did actually start and was getting the carries, and then Rex came in.
My hand in the dirt take without actually watching the video is he fucked up some like blitz coverage or something.
It's got to be it. Yeah.
And then they just went with the tried and true veteran Rex Burkhead the rest of the way.
But wasn't the thesis supposed to be like you thought Burkhead would be on in negative game scripts or whatever, and Damian Pierce, they'd let him salt the clock away in garbage time, and they're like, nope, Rex Burkhead's our finisher.
Yeah, that game was brutal. I actually did cash both DraftKings and FanDuel, my cash game lineup, and it just all it took was a few. Well,
we need to make this clear.
Yeah,
week 1 has got to just be so soft because my team was not good. My DraftKings cash game team was not good.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's got to be real soft. Like, I played Randall Cobb and got there.
Yeah, buddy. What? I don't even know about that. But if you had like Saquon and Jefferson and like one other guy that went off, you were
if you just had Saquon and Pittman, you were good.
In
pretty
cash
much.
games, yeah. And J Jeff in tournaments.
That actually reminds me, Davis, I didn't see you and Silva jerking each other off over Sammy Watkins on Twitter on Monday. I mean, where was that?
Tough. Hey, look, sometimes you got to hold an L. Sometimes your L is the 8th highest drafted player in all of fantasy football. Sometimes it's an 18th round pick. Who's to say which, whiffing on which of those hurts more? But Sammy Watkins getting cut for, Devin Duvernay and Curtis Samuel on a lot of main event teams this week.
Yeah. Davis, you want to get something off your chest right now because you've already alluded to it twice.
Oh, no. I thought maybe it'd be more fun coming from you.
You want me to bury Derrick Henry?
I mean, it's just like, they start losing a home game to a really bad Giants team.
Let me go ahead and set the table. I was very frustrated. I was more frustrated with that game than the Bengals game, just because the play calling was so outrageous. What kind of Rex Burkhead?
Timely drop there. So
5 minutes after the comment. He's on his game.
He's preseason mode. We'll get there. But just like the Titans will hopefully get there. The Titans, they ran the ball on first down every play until the fourth quarter. Derrick Henry, 18 of his carries were on first down plays. Like they were the most predictable offense, and then I guess they were just trying to salt it away. I don't know. It felt like a brain dead type operation there. But Kyle Phillips, not Nick.
Oh wow, Nick Phillips. That's a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Nick Phillips, Akine, right?
Nick
there.
Phillips,
Akine, and Robert Woods combining for 4 targets. Anyways, we're not going to talk too much about Titans because they play, of course, on the Monday night slate, and we only talk about the main slate on this. But yeah, there were some big misses and some
pretty annoying for the Chiefs to not be on the main slate after that week, to be honest, because I think we would have gotten like $8,200 Patrick Mahomes, and I think people wouldn't have played him.
Yeah, would you jam in Sky Moore if he was on the main slate?
No, but Juju is, if any team can hang with Kansas City this year, Juju is looking like just lock in 9 catches for that guy in any game where it's close.
So who are you like the most down on all your rosters, Davis?
Well, Watkins is, he's like literally not going to contribute.
Yeah, but we all knew that. Like everyone knew that you were going to be down.
Oh, no, Tony. Tony is the one where it's like you just got owned. Although I did notice he had like 33 yards on his 2 touches on 7 snaps, which meant that he was 4th on the team in yards from scrimmage on 7 snaps.
Well, it's the head case thing. Like,
which we all knew. He got ejected from his breakout game.
So he's over there like pacing on the sideline whenever the team's in their huddle because he's not getting playing time. We're not getting snaps. So that was rough. Peter, what about your bags as far as?
Yeah, well, one big zero, though not quite as bad as the Kadarius Toney because he was still out there running a ton of snaps, was Devonta Smith. I feel like we have him on every other team.
No. No, don't let that go. I am letting it go. That's not gonna be one that you look back on and you're like, wow, I can't believe I drafted all this guy. It just happens.
Are you not going to mention Trey Lance, Davis, at all? Or do you think he's fine?
Oh, I thought I've just already publicly taken that, but it's also kind of funny to take that L because he's going to be everyone's cash game quarterback this week. So maybe
I'm not letting you take that. You can't, as part of the Trey Lance fan club, you can't rush out and take the L before we all collectively decide to take the L together. I'm not waving the white flag on Lance until
it's field conditions that really got him.
Beimfohr's been doing this too. I don't know if you saw his tweet this morning. Beimfohr's been like how they talk about people quiet quitting. He's been quiet quitting Trey Lance. But this is the deal with Lance. He played about as bad of a game as you can imagine. His team lost as a 6-point favorite. It was horrible. And he got 13 fantasy points because that's the whole thesis behind the play. It's just that if they start 0-2, Jimmy is coming. If they lose this game, Jimmy is coming.
No.
I'm capitulating.
Don't capitulate. His floor is going to be Marcus Mariota in regular weather games. We're fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Mariota wasn't terrible week 1.
He was. He had the second most rushing attempts at quarterback, I believe, behind Jalen Hurts.
He's unfortunately in play this week too.
Don't they play the Rams?
No, they play the Seahawks.
Lance.
Terrible.
Lance is a cash game lock. He'll be 55% owned in the $50 double up or whatever.
That's so unfair. Like
he is not a cash game lock.
Are supposed to be able to get to play like super low owned Lance, and then they did this with the pricing. Why the cash game grinders don't get to get Trey Lance this week? That's not fair.
Blender, you don't get to play. You don't get the Trey Lance points. It doesn't count for you. You have to play Derek Carr.
Well, this is that. I mean, Derek Carr might be in play for some cash game, bros.
Yeah,
he's the guy that's popping the most in aggregate right now.
I believe he was Cardi's cash game quarterback last week.
So,
wait,
yeah,
David, I inconvenienced myself and brought up my singular underdog team to answer your bags question. So I would really like to answer this before we move on. CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, it's no one's fault. Like it's the Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault. But like anyone who is taking Lamb is there. You're like if you have a huge Lamb position, you're dead. You're dead.
No, but Davis, I'm not letting you wiggle out of this one because on multiple shows we did, I floated the CeeDee Lamb just might not be good. The Dak bails you out from that again in the short term because I'm telling you, Lamb was not looking good.
He looked awful. Did you see? I will say I had never entertained your position for a second until they threw a wide receiver screen to him on the second drive. And he literally looked like a guy who had just been introduced to the concept of catching a football on that play. Like I was like, maybe Pete was right. But I mean, going down, it will be. I mean, I know for a fact if I go back and look through my teams, I definitely took Lamb over Adams a minimum of 5 times, at least. And that is going to be one of the. And I mean, I made plenty of dumb decisions, but that's got to be one of the dumbest fancy plays. That's big time FPS.
We placed too much trust in Kellen Moore too to be like not.
I mean, he called a double wide receiver reverse on the first drive against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, settle down, dude. Settle down.
Calm down. If you are watching right now, go ahead and hit that like button and also subscribe because, guys, we are one person away from being 6,000 away from our goal of 10,000.
Road to 10K.
10K. Tuttle out there paving the way.
Paving the way. Tuttle, I'm not going to lie. We're going to need a little bit better terrible take than Mo Alley Cox this week.
The Mack truck ran over.
My guy got banished to the Shadow Realm by Kylan Granson.
So, all right, let's go into the Overzet overview. We talked a little bit about it, but Pete, hit him with the overview.
Yeah, I mean, from this slate, we're gonna have a ton of running backs that are going to be available to the point like Christian McCaffrey might be very low owned,
like a tournament play. Yeah.
I think we're headed toward a Leonard Fournette chalk week at 6,700. So can't wait to have Fournette shove it down my throat when I don't.
I disagree.
Him. What do you mean you disagree?
I think he will actually. I think you will actually end up playing him because I think he will end up 4th in that mix of Darrell Henderson, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley.
Kitchen, is Davis, this how the overview is supposed to work?
Yeah, Davis, can you let the Overzet overview be Overzet?
I mean, as someone who forgot again to plan for the overview, I do actually appreciate Davis's interjections to help give me a little more content, but it's also not how it's supposed to work.
It's still preseason for us. We're still fighting, much like some of these offenses who didn't play in the preseason. We're still finding our way.
Are you any injuries that happened? San Francisco, anybody that might elevate people up into that?
I mean, I don't think Jeff Wilson's going to really be on the DFS radar. I think there's just going to be way too many other better plays. Yeah. The T. Higgins stuff, I'm definitely monitoring. There isn't a bunch of stuff. There was a report that he was like smiling in the locker room and playing ping pong. So do with that what you will.
Oh, that's what we want. That is what we want right there.
Olivia Ray just tweeted 25 minutes ago. He was limited in practice today. Zach Taylor said he's progressing well in concussion protocol.
Yeah, him. If we get him at 5,900, he's going to be the Michael Pittman of this week that everyone's just jamming.
I don't. The Slappies, are they sophisticated enough to play T. Higgins?
The Slappies now are just slaves to projections. They don't live a little, Davis.
What a bummer. Yeah. What a bummer. DFS.
I love how Davis is definitely team live a little during the season.
But DeAndre Swift is going to be a big point this week too.
Yeah, he is. Because he is 7,000, so he is more expensive than Henderson and Fournette.
He's not practicing, and they promoted Justin Jackson. So
Wow.
it's kind of like
it's hard.
Signs that he's actually hurt.
It was hard for a good old American man like Dan Campbell to promote a socialist like Justin Jackson to the regular roster. That had to hurt him.
Do you think he has like what's his face? Jamal Williams like doing like conversion therapy on him?
Did you guys watch the Hard Knocks?
No. But apparently Jamal Williams was like the big star of Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah, and we knew that. He always was in Green Bay too. He's a likable gentleman.
Wait, we just did a whole funeral segment and we didn't throw it to Dan for a home loss to the Minnesota Vikings? What
They were dogs, right? I mean, they were
they weren't supposed to be.
It swung after all the line.
But I mean, come on, it's supposed to be discount double check. It's supposed to be Rodgers making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like, what happened, bro?
I mean, I wasn't high on the team in general. I liked Aaron Jones, obviously. Say,
that's going to be the one you have to take because you were. You said Aaron Jones was wide receiver 1 on this team, and I drafted him in one of my leagues because
that probably still could be the correct take because I did not see a wide receiver 1 out there.
AJ Dillon,
bro.
No, but so in our secret chat, I would say Wiggins pumping the hell out of Aaron Jones was not.
Wiggins was the lead bag pumper on Aaron Jones for sure.
Yeah, right. But that was ugly.
Okay, as far as game totals, you guys know what the top game total is, right?
No, that's your job as host.
Without looking,
that's your job. It's
your 3 points better assistant. Than the other matchup. It's Cardinals at the Raiders. So 51.5 team total. The next highest team total. See, this is where it gets fun. This is where the new seasons gets fun because this wouldn't have been the highest team total last year, or second highest. It's Washington at Detroit.
That's the game that the GPP bros are going to be like, can't do Las Vegas, Arizona. So let's but that's where they're going to level themselves. Like they're going to turn the cards over, and Carson Wentz, Jahan Dotson is going to be on 8% of teams.
Curtis Samuel will be 34% on the spy.
And then we have the Falcons and the Rams, and then the Colts and the Jags, followed by I feel like these next 3 teams are interesting because I would have put them higher up, but Broncos and Texans, and then the Saints and Tampa Bay, they're like in the middle of the pack, and also Dolphins at Baltimore.
Saints, Tampa Bay, if we had any assurances that the Buccaneers were interested in not kicking field goals, could actually be real fun. But I think the Buccaneers are going to be on the Green Bay Packers plan, which is like, we don't care about anything. Our quarterback doesn't need to win MVP. Let's win 10 games and get to the Super Bowl. Like they're going to play so many. That was my biggest takeaway from that Sunday night game was the Buccaneers. It's Fournette and Evans, and then with all these guys banged up, it's just going to be super boring.
Mike Evans is afraid of Marshawn Lattimore, though. So.
We need to be worried.
This is the narrative, right?
Yeah. But it's legit. This is the one he can get behind. And
this is the one.
Evans locks him down, man. Or I mean, Lattimore locks him down.
How are you feeling about all these wide receivers who left the Titans just getting a massive glow up? I mean, A.J. Brown finally out of that destitute offense, Julio Jones shining. I mean, can we get Kyle Phillips traded? Imagine what he could do with a quarterback other than Ryan Tannehill.
I will say that I played the grow. I mean, A.J. Brown and FanDuel cash was enough to cash it. I will say, as a Titans fan,
was AJ Brown actually a FanDuel play, or was that a Soccer Dave artistry play?
I think he was a play. I mean, he's an alpha,
artistry, but it was fringe. Yeah. It's the play we should. Soccer Dave is sharp for that one. That's the play we all should have been.
Thank you, Tuttle. Clip that, Sosa. Also, the Jahan Dotson take on last week's building lineup panned out pretty well.
He was only on like 40% of people's rosters.
Why do you think that is, Davis?
Also 40% touchdown rate.
You know what? Normally, Tuttle, I do want to say normally a guy who scores 2 touchdowns would suck out. I don't actually think that's true. I think Jahan Dotson is a baller. I think he's
good too.
Yeah, I think he's just really good.
No, I like him. He won me some good money in college football last year.
I got my notification from DraftKings after the slate. I
Nice.
thought I won $0, $1 because of the Swolecast lineup we made, cashed in some Frito-Lay's tournament. I was like, Jahan Dotson, Justin Jefferson. Sometimes you just play the best plays on a Wednesday, and that's your best lineup.
Bankroll builder, $1 at a time.
That's why you always leave it in one cash game. Making sure. So yeah, we'll build a lineup in a second. Talk about quarterbacks right now. We've talked a little bit about some of the options, but other than Trey Lance, first of all, Tuttle, are you sold on Trey Lance being the cash game quarterback? It feels like the price is going to continue going low enough until people is like, okay, that's too low. But like he could get benched at halftime if he doesn't have a good game. Like we don't know what's going to happen.
No, we're people are overstating the chance he's going to get benched big time.
No, that never happens.
Completely overstated. But it's more of the lack of QB options is what's making him the play this week. I do think it's Carr or Lance in cash games, and I typically side with the runner in that scenario. So yeah, I mean, I think Lance is the cash game option, 5,700 DraftKings, with Derek Carr right there as well.
I mean, if you want to pass first quarterback, you can maybe look at Lamar.
Yeah, if you're spending, go for a guy that can't throw, but also the ball.
I was tilting Lamar so hard. 6 rushing
you
attempts.
guys galaxy brains thinking he was a better
Levitan just muscled up on all of us and played the chalk team, but just 1v1 Hurts over Lamar for $500 less. It feels
that's called living a little right there. You don't have to use the total salary.
I gotta play for you, Dan, that I think you will be into as a vomit bro, and Pete maybe. How about Matthew Stafford? 10 days rest. Been hearing everyone say, been saying, the Rams they suck, they're cooked, yada yada. I think there'll also be a little bit of they'll try and get Allen Robinson a touchdown probably if it's possible. And actually looking at
we are already greasing the wheels in week 2.
But looking at the wide receiver projections, I don't really see how Cooper Kupp ends up being super owned, actually.
What, 99?
They were annoying with that pricing. That's the overstepping.
That's what I'm saying though. Like it's it's like the pricing is a way overstep, and he's they got a 31 point team total. Like
the crazy thing is, would he have even been chalk if they priced him like around Devontae, like 1,000 less?
No, I don't think so.
That's why it's annoying.
Because we got Chase with T banged up. So Debo is going to get his customary 7 to 9% ownership. Tyreek after a bajillion targets last week. Like there are a lot of really good wide receiver plays.
I tell you what you do. You don't bother with the Stafford to Cup stack. You play Mariota to Pitts with the Cup bring back. That's how you do it.
He solved
Pitts
it.
was a guy that was big. That C-Mac and Pitts team was rough.
The year is 2037. Kyle Pitts just came off of his 90th straight 22 expected point fantasy game. He's averaging 7.4 points on DraftKings.
The year is 2024. The air yards by low model is on its ninth site. Josh is redacting Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I don't know why that tickled me so much, but it was really good.
I was just thinking in my head about a scenario where like you had to have a token, a buy yards token to access
to see who the redacted.
To access the air model.
Herm's
all right,
I'm in.
Hey, can I give a gross play on FanDuel for a cash game?
That's your MO, Dave.
All right, because Lamar's 8.2, even Derek's 7. I think Carr is the safe option against Arizona, but maybe even safer if you want to look for some salary, and that is Geno Smith.
Jesus Christ.
6.3. He's 6.3K.
I'm not gonna.
I'm stunned.
Yeah, no.
I'm not gonna go there with you.
That's not gonna be a thing.
I think we maybe saw a one-time thing where everyone on that team was jazzed up and they had everything scripted out. Because you saw after they got off their scripted drives, I think Geno completed 4 passes in the second half. It got a lot worse.
Davis, I just want you to realize like the type of person you're turning into. That the Rams are going to look to Robinson to score a touchdown, and that the Seattle were just so jazzed up that they're it's going to be a trap game or they're going to come down to earth. Like, you're turning into a normie right now.
There's a human element to the sport. It's not predictive, but you got it. You can't predict.
Human element to the sport.
I can't believe we made it here. Like, from you saying, I remember the days where we'd ask you a 1v1 and you wouldn't answer without the preface of, well, according to our projections.
I mean, I'm still using projections to make all of my decisions for actual money, but like when I'm just talking on a show.
All right. So Randall Cobb involved projections.
Hey. Yeah, he was like, I mean, if I would have ran with my initial Dortch projection, I would have just played him, but I had to tone that down.
Hey, David, real quick. Some FanDuel salaries for you. Darrell Henderson, 6,200. Julio Jones, 5,700. Allen Robinson, 5,700. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6,900. Brandon Cook, 67.
No way.
Leonard Fournette, 7.8. But yeah, let's
play Geno.
Let's play Geno so we can open up that cap space on a site that you can play whatever you want anyway.
Tuttle, you don't know the cash game streets on FanDuel like I do.
How about this, Kitchen? How about you pay $500 more for the team that had the highest pass rate over expected in week 1 and just play Tua instead?
I'm throwing out I kind of do like the Tua play.
But when Geno's there, you got to save the 500.
If you need salary, like, I get it, but also Taylor is 10K. Like the jam ends, you gotta have to save some salary somewhere. JT is 10K.
Yeah, I literally just listed.
Cooper Kupp is 9.7K. But that's what I'm saying. Like the top guys that normally you could auto play and just scrubs and studs.
Kitchen's already feeling the efficiency of the pricing in week 2.
Geno's he's touting.
Wait till he has 2 touchdowns.
Wait until he has 2 touchdowns
and Will Disley, and then does nothing the rest of the game, and gives DK Metcalf an ADOT of 4.4.
I don't know what this GIF is, but I love it.
Sosa is hustling. Yeah,
I love it. Okay, so
here we
slowly
go,
redeemed himself for the Burkhead take.
There you go. You got your support in chat. Geno might be him.
All right. Maybe just to pile on Davis, maybe he's so fueled by that week 1 win that he wants to be even greater in week 2. You never know. All right. Let's move on to the DraftKings lineup.
30 minutes into the show, we got to the DraftKings. I think we should make this a 90-minute show this week.
Hey, Pete.
I really wish I had a heart out.
Where are you putting this lineup, Pete?
I was just checking it out. I do think I'm going to go back to the Frito-Lay's Snaps and Snacks series. We also have the 5K Guinness Time Challenge, a 5K Draft Time matchups presented by Miller Lite, and of course, the staple, the constant life, death, taxes, and the Modelo 5K Fight to the Top series.
Okay. See, I thought about this last week. Here's what I think, because, these series, they'll change every, after a month or so. But if they're sponsoring these contests, why wouldn't Snacks and Snaps by Frito-Lay, why wouldn't Frito-Lay sponsor the Swolecast?
Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Because we're 6,000 subs away from 10K. Could that be why?
Get on the train early. Get on the train early.
Hey, Frito,
lock in that price.
Skate to where the puck's going to be, not where it's at
Skate to where the puck is going to be.
So Frito-Lay, whoever all those other companies, let's just target the companies that are sponsoring these DraftKings contests, because I think we're better EV than what they would be.
I won a Rainmakers pack last week on a free contest.
Nice.
Is anyone playing Tuttle? Are you playing Rainmakers at all?
No.
Our app developer tried to get me in on it yesterday, and he's like, "Look, this guy made fun of me so much.
If you go buy the $10 pack in
Derek?
the store, you can sell it for $35 because it's limit 1 per customer, but all the people who are playing want the cards in the pack."
And what pack is this?
It's I don't know the verbiage.
Is this financial advice? Yeah, I just heard
it sounds like financial advice, and I'm not
3.5x return.
I don't know if it was the case. I just in one of these degenerate chats I'm in, they were all talking about
it. I joined Davis's Telegram chat, and now I'm broke.
How's your bird? How's your moon bird?
Kitchen, let's build a fucking lineup.
It's the super. Dylan says it's the superstar pack. There you go. I'm about to go buy myself a superstar pack.
All right. Someone did come up to me at the DraftKings party on Sunday with it was like some beer.
Was it Javon Curse came up to you?
Well, he did, yes, but it was a Bored Ape. It was Mike 5754. Remember that guy? He was at this event. He came with.
I went to college with Mike.
Yeah. So
is he part of Davis's tree or Kitchen's? Because it sounds like we got another disagreement on our hands.
Sounds like he's part of Davis's tree.
I don't think he's my tree.
He might be
one of associated.
He might be Dink and Leone's tree, actually.
I think that's actually accurate.
All right. Let's move on to this DraftKings lineup, and Pete, you'll get first pick.
I get first pick.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just gonna hedge against this. I know he's gonna shove it down my throat in my GPP lineups, but I always make the best lineup on Wednesday. So let's just put Leonard Fournette in now.
Pete, I really think you're going to get to Wednesday and you're going to play Leonard Fournette because he is going to be the least owned of the elite plays.
I hope you're right.
Okay.
I really hope you're right.
Fournette, let's go with Tuttle first.
Yeah, so I think we should bring this one back.
Mm-hmm.
With Jawan Johnson.
Oh my gosh.
It's not even. It's literally not even a bad play. That is
Boom.
extremely fine.
I don't think it's a bad play because here's the thing, and again, people that are tuning in this season that may not have tuned in last week, Tuttle is grinding alerts and projections for NFL hard. So
accidentally sending out alerts on the NBA feed, things like that.
He ran more routes last week than Michael Thomas did.
And dare I say he's the Stone Mint.
He is the Stone Mint.
And it's you're also getting like a salary leverage play because people are going to be playing Brevin Jordan, who's right there.
Wait, who's playing Brevin Jordan?
Yeah, I don't think they're playing.
He's an opto bro play.
I maybe could see that, but the
Alberto
OJ Howard, aren't you worried?
Oh my god, the idea that people other than me care about Alberto this week is like lifting my heart. It's beautiful.
Like he should have got there last week, right? Like,
I mean, he was an inch away from a touchdown, and he pretty much gave them a chance to win the game by fighting for that first down. Like they would have punted.
These are the tight ends above 10% in my first aggregate run: Hawkinson, Alberto, Tyler Higbee, Mark Andrews, and Kyle Pitts.
All right, I'll eat the L on B Jordan.
Wow, lots of personal growth in this show. Davis, who you got?
Show could you on a Wednesday Jordan L.
Can I pick a stack?
Not that you always pick
Davis,
a stack, so just go ahead.
Yeah,
and take
go
the
ahead and do
lineup.
it. Like you're gonna do it.
Okay, I would like to pick Tua and Jalen Waddle.
You think Waddle is the correct pairing here?
No, but consult with our friend who works on the projected ownership over at RotoGrinders.com and ask him what he's got for Tyreek Hill's projected ownership.
Immediately bails on his stack.
No, I want Waddle. I want Waddle at 3% projected ownership as leverage on a 15 to 20% owned Tyreek Hill.
What? Your ownership projections are terrible.
I am guessing on them. I have not made them yet.
People will not be jamming in Tyreek.
He had a bajillion targets last week.
It's just a roster. So the problem is, it's kind of a roster thing. That he's not gonna stand out. But then, which makes this play even worse, is that he's only $700 more than Waddle.
That's the point, though.
I mean, nobody's going to play Waddle. If you want to do nobody's going to play him, that's fine.
Yeah, if you're going to do the live a little, just say live a little, Davis.
At what projected ownership does Waddle become a better play than Tyreek? Like if Tyreek's 9%, you jam Tyreek. If Tyreek's 15%, you play Waddle, right?
Yeah, we have Tyreek at 9% right now.
Okay, so to change it then, put Tyreek.
But again, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's
put Tyreek in. Put Tyreek in. If 9% is the projected ownership, put Tyreek in.
People will see Baltimore. It's not going to be a fast-paced matchup.
All right, we're off Waddle. We're playing Tyreek.
All right, I'll let someone else pick the Baltimore player, but I will.
This does not require bring back. I don't think.
I'm gonna force it, but go ahead, Kitchen.
I am going to play Greg Dortch in this one.
Absolutely, could not be more on board with this play. I love it.
This is pandering to Davis. This is absurd.
Rondale Moore today, right?
If Rondale Moore plays, then you might want to sub this guy
if
out.
Rondale Moore plays, forget Greg Dortch exists.
How many pump plays does one lineup need? Do we only have 30,000 in salary, guys? I mean, what's going on?
No, we're letting you spend on Cooper Kupp, dude.
All right,
Dortch.
All right. So what's a different guy we could take than Greg Dortch?
No, Dortch is a good play.
But Rondale Moore is going to play. And this is the question that you want to know. Is Greg Dortch a good play at
Yes. I don't care. I don't care.
Greg
Dortch is the most locked in.
I'll take it back. I just found a better
Kitchen and Davis
play.
on the same thing is just also very scary. It's a
I'll take it back.
cocktail.
I found a better play.
Kyle Phillips.
This is actually usually I don't lead off with this. I'm a second pick, but I feel like this team is just a free square, and that is the Bengals defense. They're playing against the Cowboys this week.
Oh, I got in a 3-hour argument about this last night. I want everyone on the panel's opinions.
Well, you jam them in.
No, there's Kitchen.
Let me have the floor, defense please. Is always the worst play in DFS.
So it is, but Pete, are you at all?
It isn't.
No. What happened last week is everyone knows the chalk defense is the worst. So what happened last week was the Dolphins ended up being more owned than the Commanders because everyone said, you can't play the Commanders and you got to play a different
defense. Who's the Dolphins in this, or who's the Commanders in this scenario, or the Dolphins?
It's the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 2,300, and the optimizer likes them just as much. They're projected for the same amount of points. So the Bengals are the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are the Commanders. Where the Bengals actually might end up coming.
Right. Just play that.
No,
we don't have to.
You got that reversed.
The
Dolphins are the Dolphins. I will take.
I would snap.
Bengals will be higher owned than
I would snap that. Like I think in the SPY they're going to be 24% owned or whatever.
The Dolphins.
You just take the free square. You're playing a man down.
Bengals easily highest owned for sure
in these contests. So
I will simply play the Cowboys defense for maximum leverage.
So does this lineup have Dortch or not?
No.
No.
I replace
even the chalk defense instead.
Bengals.
Okay.
Let's see after my Bengals call how heavily owned the Bengals are this week.
I didn't want to talk you off Dortch, but I think this is actually I know we don't want to provide people with valuable information and valuable commentary. But it's an interesting. It really is an interesting talk.
Fritos, earmuffs,
because
it becomes about what the other players do, not really what Dortch himself does.
Right, because he's the only guy I'm seeing right now that's popping as a point per dollar play under 4K.
Yeah,
5K even really on DraftKings. So if he plays and Rondale's out, we are looking at probably 15 to 20% ownership on him. So if you want him at that ownership percentage, I'll play him.
I unironically think he is a great play, even at that percentage.
All right, let's play Dortch so I can put Devontae.
Yeah, let's just play Dortch. Let's do it.
I feel like this has actually been quite a productive show, even though we've got nothing on the rundown done. I feel like we've touched on some key concepts.
The Dortch, and we're bringing him back with Devontae
toward an evergreen strategy type format. All right, we got 6,900. Put in Adams there for mine.
All right, Devontae.
Basically, just Dortch and Adams just ping-ponging big plays.
Yeah,
as the Lord intended.
Dortch is good, bro. I mean this so seriously.
You just like it because he's kind of part of your brand orbit now.
Well, we also know he's just gonna get fat. If we knew Rondale Moore was gonna be 35, he's Rondale Moore.
He's Rondale Moore, just slow.
Yeah.
So
you guys just don't let Davis tinker with this lineup at the last second because he'll swap in Cobb over.
Oh.
Yeah, the upside.
I had no confidence in myself. You really hate to see it. So, running back this week, there's the 4 jam plays of Henderson, Mixon, Barkley, Fournette. Kitchen, who are you going to take as our? Or I guess it's my pick, huh?
Yeah, you can choose.
It's you and then me.
I'll take Antonio Gibson, who had like elite usage ran more routes than McKissick, and has got this great matchup, and people are going to be playing his teammates. I'm shocked at that ownership total.
I mean, it's early. Whose ownership? Gibson?
18.4%.
What do you want?
It seems high to me with a bunch of other guys pulling in like 20 plus. But what do I know?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how people treat Mixon too, who could potentially be low.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna actually swing your dick there and pick CMC. I thought you were gonna.
No. I'll let you finish yourself. 7,600.
Yeah. Well, I think we don't go with, since we have Dortch, I think that changes the strategy for defense. So,
wait, let's not let Dortch impact any.
Yeah, no, we are.
Why is Pete anti-Dortch, bro?
Because I'm a Rondell guy, and Dortch is just encroaching upon everything I know and love.
I mean, it's just sad to see Rondale die at the death of the Dortch.
It's like every guy I love on the Cardinals, it's like, oh, I love Christian Kirk, and then he gets cucked by Antoine Wesley. And then it's like, oh, I love Rondell, and he gets cucked by fucking Davis's cute little brand play.
I'm actually going to go Panthers D.
What's going on? I thought we had the Bengals.
No, I said we
have lots of extra dollars.
I really do have a hard out because I only get paid for an hour.
Yeah. And if we did that, we had 6,800, and we could put in whoever, Michael Pittman Jr. if we wanted.
I think the real move here is
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, St. Brown. I agree.
Yeah, if you want to fill out that shell, I think that's fine. The real move is probably to do like Mark Andrews at
Mark
tight end,
Andrews, yeah,
and then do something at flex or go Bateman at the flex and upgrade tight end.
We got to move on.
Yeah, but real quick, if we are doing evergreen strategy tips, can you please move Devontae Adams to the flex and move Amon-Ra to the wide receiver spot? We can't have people burning a flex that early.
They don't even give you the money. DraftKings doesn't even pay you out if you use a 1 p.m. player at your flex.
This is a show that teaches you how to fish. We don't give you the fish.
In the words
that's actually so said Craig in the lineup, not me. So.
I do want to get this bit out there, Pete. In the words of Kyle Dvorak, Christian Kirk died so Andy Isabella could die, so Rondell Moore could die, so Greg Dortch could live.
No, I cannot handle. I'll block anyone who tweets that.
All right. So we've talked a little bit about running backs. There's so much to talk about for running backs. It feels like the possibilities are endless.
Can we get a kitchen overview of the position?
Well, you've got
that Davis will immediately interrupt you on.
He says, ironically, you got guys like Chase Edmonds at 5.2K that we haven't even talked about, but we did talk about this Dolphins offense passing more, him being involved in that. You have these upside guys like Swift we saw last week. We saw Jonathan Taylor last week. We know their ceiling is very high. You have Henderson. I don't know what Henderson's upside is, but I know he's solid, right? I know he's going to get there for you. And then we have the 49ers situation where what is happening? No one knows. And so do you roll the dice on someone there that is probably going to be low owned? I guess it'll be Jeff Wilson. It's going to be low owned and could get you there.
What about Ramondre with no Ty Montgomery? There's all kinds of.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like Ramondre. I want to know where Davis lies. He tweeted out the San Francisco meme yesterday, the running backs meme.
I realized I immediately messed it up though, and someone correctly pointed this out to me. I should have just done every option as 60 IQ. That would have been the way funnier bit. Is that Mason's 60 IQ, Jeff Wilson Jr. 60 IQ, and TDP is 60 IQ. I will say the chances of any of these guys being on a lineup that wins 5 figures on DFS this weekend seems quite low, given that Debo just gets all the high value touches and Trey Lance is obviously this incredibly good short yardage rusher. Most of my San Francisco running back takes are related to, the fucking waivers I have to set this afternoon and not about
Christian McCaffrey this week. What are we doing there?
I think you gotta
smash him in GPP.
It just feels, it really does just feel like it would be bad to not take a position on him this week.
Pete?
Yeah, I think that looks right. If we think everyone's going to be living in that mid-range with Mixon, Fournette, Swift, Barkley, like maybe going CMC, Edmonds type pairings, JT with Ramondre, like going high-low there might be the play.
Do we think Javonte Williams, that they're going to be losing to the Texans and he's going to get 11 receptions this week?
The thing
but he'll get more carries.
What was so weird about their usage is he was getting all those carries while playing the early downs. Melvin was still playing a bunch of the third downs.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't they both split carries in the 5? Well, inside of the 5?
Yeah, they
both
took turns fumbling.
So, yeah, can't do anything there. All right. Najee Harris, if he's good to go. I don't like him either, but... ...
in a GPP.
He...
Are we allowed to say in a GPP when now this is a GPP cash show? We need that scapegoat.
I think we coined the phrase in a GPP. I think we were the first one to do it. By the way, you were traveling, Pete. Did you see Silva acknowledge the show's existence last week?
I did. I think I even retweeted that. I was stunned. I was wondering how much Better Collective paid for that promotional tweet.
Yeah. He didn't put #ad, but you knew it was there.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be such an incredible ad campaign. What if we paid Silva for like 3 Swolecast related tweets a week?
Yeah, what would be the cost of that? Like $5,000?
You can't.
We can't afford Silva.
If you gotta ask Silva his price, you can't afford it, buddy.
We'll just pay in child labor. We'll just have a kid get here it was.
I got 4 kids that are saying, I'll ship you a kid for a week, Silva.
All right. Let's go with. Does anyone have any Barkley takes after last week as well?
Okay, he had a 33% target share. Feels like he's probably a pretty good play.
We got to talk Henderson.
I mean, we've seen him do this before. He's going to have 16 carries for 80 yards, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 20 receiving yards. You are really just flipping coins on if he scores a touchdown or not.
But so what's the confidence level that we see a split like last week though too?
Pretty high. The McVay quotes about Akers were not what you say about a guy who you're expecting to give a bunch of touches to. He was like, he's really got to maximize the opportunities he's got. And the subtext there was he's not going to get that many of them.
Hey, to me, the question is, do they give Akers just a similar amount of work because they don't have Kyron Williams now, or does a third back then come and even cuck Akers again?
Jake Funk, baby.
Jake Funk.
Here's the thing. There's lots of good running back plays. If there's any sort of doubt that creeps in your mind for cash game plays, Tuttle, on FanDuel, that's when you use Geno and you upgrade Henderson to a Fournette or a Najee. Najee's only 1,000 more. These are the 2v2s that you're going to have to really ask yourself before you decide to play Henderson. Because if we think he's the guy, he's only 6.2 on FanDuel.
I'm not playing Henderson in tournaments, but I just am not going to fight the field on him at all in cash.
See, I think that's tournaments is where it's interesting for sure. He still comes across as I'm less certain of the role. I kind of
do you have to play him in cash though on DK if you have Bengals and Dortch in ink in your lineup? You don't have to play him.
I'm confused. Why is Darrell Henderson a better play than Chase Edmonds?
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly.
They have a 31-point team total.
Yeah.
That Cooper Kupp's gonna get.
Yeah, BFD.
3/4 of
BFD, Davis. You already said they're getting 2 touchdowns to A-Rob.
I did not say that.
You said they're going to try to.
I'm just telling Pete why he is popular.
You said at the beginning of the show that they're going to try to get him a touchdown. You 100% said that.
I can't even with you, man.
Okay. All right. Because you know I'm right.
That does not impact Darrell Henderson's mean projection in any way.
Sure, but you still said it though. And now you're trying to walk it back.
We have 10 minutes left and we haven't done wide receiver, tight end, or make a FanDuel lineup.
Would you calm down? All right. let's go to wide receivers. Then after that, we'll go to FanDuel.
Yeah, we
Devontae
all know the
is-
order of the show.
Is Devontae Adams a lock button?
No, because you got Chase, you got T, you got Debo, you got Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6,500. He's at a 31% target share 6 days in a week or 6 games in a row, and I think he's got a touchdown in 6 of his 8 last games.
Are the Pearl Clutchers going to play Allen Robinson at 5,500?
Mm-hmm.
Who are the Pearl Clutchers?
You did.
The people who drafted him in the 4th round all offseason.
Not me. I don't think he's a good play anyway.
I will say, I mean, you talk about situations where you can see or envision a QB and coach like feeding a guy just to make him happy. That's the spot too for Allen Robinson. It's going to be an easy enough win for them.
I've got the angry narrative here. Broncos.
I like Broncos.
Just letting Russ rip it this week after that egregious not going for it on 4th down and them losing. Angry Russ is almost equivalent to angry Brady.
You guys missed the
David,
most
you know
CSU... Oh, go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to say, you guys missed the most CSU thing ever. He was advocating for the field goal because he's been golfing with Brandon McManus. And so he could just drill it from 70.
I love it.
Damn it, Peter.
If McManus hits that, I win 150K. Well,
seriously?
You win a share of it. Yeah. I
had 50% of an entry and we got second place for 50 grand. But
a showdown?
Yeah, showdown. I had a buddy text me 15 minutes before the game. He saw overlay in the 222 and was like, "Hey man, you wanna go halfsies on this?" I said, "Oh, sure." I had 20 lineups, all Russ on slots. I say pick a number between 1 and 20. He picks lineup number 3, which is the one that outscored all my other lineups by like 12 points.
Holy cow!
I had no idea though. I was
okay. At first, I was going to say he would be regretting that text you like you want to split this lineup because that cost him 25K, but it really made him 25K,
right?
100%, whatever.
Yeah. I wouldn't have picked that lineup. It had Colby Parkinson in it.
Oh, wow. This is how you do it.
Total, prepare the people for the terrible take, please. All right. So we're not jamming in Devontae Adams. We talked about Cooper Kupp being probably too expensive. What about Michael Thomas? He's still relatively cheap. Michael Thomas, Mike Evans, these guys that should get lots of targets.
Good play, Michael Thomas. Actually, I think he probably won't even be that owned now that I'm thinking about it because there will be a little bit of that, like how much of that is real. And his targets didn't spike up that high. Like actually, what's his name? Landry had the most.
Yeah, Landry was crushing.
Yeah. Christian Kirk, 5,700. He probably pulls some of the ownership away. Do you think people are going to go back to Dotson actually though? Because that game is going to get pretty popular, and Dotson only got moved up to 4,200.
Yeah, he's going to be very popular.
Will people play McLaurin?
I think because people were so kind of surprised by Dotson and Samuel that they'll just play it through the cheaper guys.
I think so. I like McLaurin. I think he's really good.
How about the best GPP play? How about a little DJ Moore?
I like DJ Moore this week.
I played.
He's got to get to his annual 1,204. He's still got 4 touchdowns left and about 11,050 yards.
Once he uses them up, they're done.
Wait, once if that guy gets to 3 touchdowns, you got to just stop playing him because it means he can't have a multi-touchdown game.
What if Robbie Anderson is just the guy?
Terrifying.
I don't know about that.
Can I give a hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Spicy play. George Pickens at 3,600. No one's gonna play him.
Wiggins was trying to play him in cash last week.
Yeah, well, you know me.
Wiggins catches strays on this show.
You think he was planning on going to a Fish concert afterwards, but Pickens was on the field for 91% of the team's passing plays. that according to our good friend Dwayne McFarland. And I know he only had 3 yards receiving, but that's the type of guy you want when you live a little to take down some of these tournaments.
Can we say Julio is clearly on the TB12 diet?
Yes.
Yeah. They're definitely giving that guy some adrenochrome, no doubt about it.
My concern with Julio is like on that long play that he barely missed.
Yeah, he kind of looked.
He is like, you're just waiting for it. You're just waiting for him to go to the sideline and check himself out. Okay.
He's going to be high owned, but I like him.
All right. Any other wide receiver plays from you guys?
Another one, I thought we were going to maybe get there in our lineup when we boxed out Kyle Pitts, but I'm very into Drake London, still at 5,200. Yes. He feels like a guy who's going to be 6,500 min salary here very quickly.
So does this mean I have to cross him?
Is that your terrible take?
Yeah.
That's not a terrible take. That's just a good take.
Yeah. I know, he's too good of a player. This is the dilemma I have is like, I box myself into taking just actually terrible players.
We want what we want. We want the Colby Parkinsons, the JD McKissicks of yesteryear. That's what we want, Tuttle.
Not that Marquise Brown
though on those guys.
Marquise Brown week 2, it's gonna happen. Save those for Davis. All right. Let's move on to our FanDuel lineup really quick. This is our turbo speed. So FanDuel.com.
FanDuel.com, DFS.
So I think what you have to do is lock in Geno here.
Yeah. I mean, the points per dollar is
if we're doing a cash game, I would say, yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm going to start it off.
Someone needs to pick a quarterback quick.
Russ.
Yes. Okay. I'm 100% down with, like, of all the narratives that Davis pointed out, Russ should have been top of that. And let's pair him with Judy.
God, Sutton and Judy are for free on this site.
You guys want to just double it?
I want to double it. I do.
Or with Javonte. If Javante's catching 10 balls, it's in play.
I'll let you pick.
I don't like the double stack on FanDuel.
I like this double Sutton stack.
But okay, we can do it. Judy and Sutton.
All right, Judy and Sutton. So take out Javonte.
Okay.
Bring it back, Davis.
Wish we were playing the Thursday to Monday slate on FanDuel.com as an ode to Evan Silva.
Or not Silva, yeah.
We need a bring back here. All right, Brevin Jordan.
Everyone's playing him, bro.
Like that's the worst play on FanDuel.
On FanDuel, it's so bad. No, I would like a Amon-Ra St. Brown, please.
Okay. Poor Sosa. I just imagine him right now just cursing and trying to find all these players take him out. No, put him in. Okay. All right. Tuttle?
Are we back to me already?
Yeah, so we have Russ with a double stack and Amon-Ra.
We'll go McCaffrey.
Okay.
All right, we are gonna need. Is it me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna need Brandon Cooks here. If we're getting the Russ double hitting, something has to come back.
Okay, so Cooks there. We've got running back, tight end, defense. Ooh, man. This is why you might be faced with Geno decisions on Sunday.
What?
Totally.
Only have salary left. Is that why?
Pick the chalk defense again, Kitchen. With what are your picks?
Yeah, if we have Bengals, then it's 64.50. So let's do.
Pick running back.
You can play Hendo.
We can
6,200.
Oh yeah, I was looking. We can't play any wide receivers because I was looking at DJ Moore, but
Julio's 5,700.
Let's go with Edmonds.
Great FanDuel play.
Yeah, did they change their scoring to full point PPR?
This is like the underdog bros trying.
You guys, I'm sorry, Davis. You don't understand. It's not about the FanDuel. It's not about the PPR or half point PPR here. This is a GPP strategy play.
What is this Taysom Hill price tag on FanDuel? I just noticed.
Is he a tight end?
He's the third highest tight end. That's 62.
Looks like they've been consuming my content this offseason.
So if we do that, we have 6,900 for a tight end. That gives us Waller. Look at that.
It does. Or Pitts, and we come up from the chalk defense.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, don't dupe me.
Zero confidence.
What are we not duping you in?
I mean, I don't think FanDuel has incredible partnerships with Frito-Lay's and other various companies.
It's a huge bummer.
They do have the RotoGrinders ceiling contest that rears its head every once in a while.
Although Worm asking the question
is the way to end this.
Where's the FanDuel Swolecast Listener League?
People are asking.
More and more people are asking every day.
On FanDuel. They love it.
All right. We should get a listener league. Let's get a listener league somewhere. Sosa, be
a producer for once and get.
Yeah, Sosa, put that on your.
Put on your to-do list. All right. Tight ends. We want to talk quickly about tight ends. Higbee. Any other cheap tight ends you guys like?
I mean, Alberto Kuibunum is
Yeah.
Projecting as quite a good play this week with his third most routes run on the Denver Broncos. It's almost like someone could have told you it was coming.
Okay. What about Isaiah Likely as wide receiver 3?
He actually did run the third most route. He ran the same amount of routes as Duvernay, which obviously you would not have guessed from his 0-point performance. But
yeah, if they get down to Miami, I like
well,
that.
Lamar's just a pocket passer now, dude.
2.5.
They're saying he's saying no bag, no legs.
I have a hard out for UCL lineups.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So yeah. All right. Any other tight end takes before we move on to final thoughts? Tuttle?
Hawkinson is the guy that's popping in all of my early stuff I'm running. Good price tag or good enough. But yeah, it's different than last week where we don't have all the high end guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Kyle Pitts on FanDuel again. I'm running that back even after getting burned last week.
Be safe out there, Tuttle. All right, Tuttle, give us your terrible take for the people.
Well, I was just told that Drake London does not count.
Yep.
So I think it's just got to be the first guy that I plugged into our DK lineup, and that's Juwan Johnson.
Okay.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Okay. So get ready to put the Swolecast homepage on the screen, please. You can go to swolecast.com to do that. All right, Davis, final thoughts.
You know, it's always hard to find a slate that doesn't have the best team in football, the Kansas City Chiefs, on it. But, you know, I hope everyone has a really good time stacking the Washington football team and the Detroit Lions. I'm sure that's not going to be upsetting in any way come Sunday.
Pete?
Just know that if you find yourself rooting for Greg Dortch, you want to live in a reality where both Kitchen and Davis are victory lapping the same thing on the Swolecast, which sounds like the worst thing ever. So you need to anti-sweat Greg Dortch.
All right. Sosa, pull up the homepage if you would for us.
The road to 10K. The road to 10K.
We gotta start giving out free shit if we're gonna get there.
2 touchdowns. We are gonna get there.
Just wait until these Silva tweets start coming. I mean,
the Silva bump isn't what it used to be. It was like 5 likes. Remember when it was like the thing you wanted in the industry?
Well, the problem is
Silva retweeted me.
There are only so many followers, and it becomes an overlapping circle.
Yeah,
like every person.
Yeah.
Every person who follows me also follows Silva.
Okay, calm down.
Well, what if we paid for a thread?
Yeah.
Top 10 reasons to watch the Swolecast from Evan Silva. I would
wow,
so much
this account is blowing up.
This show's growing fast.
I want to tell a quick story. There was once a guy in Wisconsin that died. He was an old guy, and he died. And you would think that that's the end of the story, but it wasn't, because he had a mattress.
And he died in Illinois, actually.
Okay, he died in Illinois.
Want to be accurate with our stories.
And so he thought that was it, but it wasn't, because Tuttle went down and strapped his mattress on his lawnmower and drove it up the street back to his house. That's a true story, right?
It was close to being true.
It's
Are you trying to? I thought you were gonna land the plane with this with some rhyme.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be more like a
It is.
life lesson.
My thing is like your players that died week 1, they can still live on. You can still play them.
Yes,
They
I will
might
take your
even be
mattress.
They might even be the key to success. And
The moral of that story is if anyone knows of a cheap mattress, contact Mr. Tuttle 05.
I haven't had any deaths in the family recently. Thankfully,
That's right.
So,
And those stains washed right out. So, all right. On behalf of everyone listening, watching, appreciate you guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for more exclusive in your face week 1 reaction, first look content. Thank you to Sosa for producing this show, getting the sea legs back. We'll see you next week, week 3, here on the Swolecast and RotoGrinders.com. Peace.